Welcome to Cut Daisies and Unicorns, and this is a Trailer Friday. That means we're giving you a perspective, a sneak peek into what we're going to be talking about on Sunday's release of the long show. And it's lengthy, and you're going to need to spend some time with it, but it's going to be exciting because there's things that we're going to talk about. Even up front, we start talking about some of the regular stuff that we bring up, and then we do talk about, how some things are unplanned, but here's the part. There's going to be an orchestration. There's going to be an orchestrating of the things, the conversation that's going to lead to bigger thoughts and bigger ideas that hopefully will challenge you. And so we like to challenge. We spend a lot of time challenging and asking questions.
Yeah, and I'm really, really excited for our audience to hear Sunday's broadcast of Season 3, Episode 2. Hey, we haven't been through all 10 yet, but it's a good one. Mm-hmm. I would put it probably, of the episodes that we've taped together, it'd definitely be in my top 5. And I say top 5 because when I started going through my head on my favorites, I was already at 4. And so now how I would rank it within the 5, that I'll save for a later date.
There we go.
And there may be more to come, but it's a good episode, folks. You're going to want to share it, but you're going to want to carve some time out, and you're going to, beyond listening to it, you're going to want to experience the things that we're talking about.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I learned through that too when we talk about pantheism and panentheism. Yeah, and the distinguishing features between that, and then all kinds of stuff out of there. So it is a good episode, and it causes everyone to go back to a fundamental. If we're talking about restoration, we got to see what was there first. What's that plan? What's that thing that was there already?
Yeah. So you'll see through the title, we're going to drop a bunch of stuff in there so that you can know what is really going on in the episode. But just know, hey, Trailer Friday though, we got to have some whacked out weird thing going on.
Right.
It's Trailer Friday. Mm-hmm. We got to give them a little bit of. I'm going to call it a snippet. Okay. Snippet in the bud.
Snippet real good.
Yeah. Well, we talk a little bit about the trip, my trip to Seattle, mm-hmm. and didn't get too in depth on that, but I want to let you know, if people are like, hey, Seattle, what was your favorite part? My favoriteest part were how many crows, blackbirds, and ravens there were. My second favoriteest part would move into, which I'm getting a little more desensitized to based on my proximity to Lake Michigan. Like, mm-hmm. since I have access to the water, and I can go there whenever I want, and I can be able to be by it, and mm-hmm. its rhythm is so close to me, I can feel it. It calms me. Mm-hmm. I love water. I'm a water baby. I never really got mountains until this trip. I really like the mountains, but the mountains, this is from my upbringing. These mountains have really tall trees. Mm-hmm. And so, like, I was more than Colorado. Like, I've been to Colorado once. So anyway, if you get a hankering and you're like, I want to go where the birds call my name. Seattle. Yeah. Issaquah, Seattle.
Right.
Just southeast of Mercer Island, which you take the 90, I think, it's the 90 into Seattle. Right. And then got to see the farmer's market and the wharf. Mm-hmm. Wharf.
I haven't ever been to Seattle. I've been to the area up there. I've been to Eugene, Oregon. I've been to parts of Washington, Walla Walla, Washington.
Walla Walla. And I was irritated in our last episode at the Canadians, you know, because I couldn't go to Vancouver.
Right. You couldn't get over.
I couldn't, and I didn't, and didn't try. But I'm telling you, I did have a good experience in with that trip. I'm not a fan of travel. Actually, I wrote a scathing, detailed thing to American Airlines about the trip.
Yeah.
They asked, "Hey, how was your last trip?" I'm like, "Oh, you asked. I'm gonna tell you." And so, you know, I just told them, I'm like, "Hey, you know, we travel frequently, and based on that, now understand, listener, if I say we travel, the reason we're traveling is because my wife's job,
Right.
and I can tag along, and it works out. But American Airlines doesn't need to know that."
Right.
So I'm like, yeah. And I said, and I even told him, I'm like, and I'm recommending to my wife that we fly United from now on, because for the last, you know, 2 trips, which is 4 flights, there has not been a trip without delay.
Right.
Cancellations even.
And that's hard to travel with all of that unexpected.
Well,
Because they don't tell you up front that it's. They usually tell you when you're already at the airport.
if I had, I mean, thankfully, you know, the text messages and stuff like that. But if I had $1 for every time I heard an American airline employee say they were sorry, I would have had enough money to buy you any steak on the menu, and then me a steak dinner as well. And, you know, again, we're talking about white privilege here. I mean, you know, this is a complaint based on a guy who has the privilege to fly in an airplane, to go to beautiful places, to be able to stay. I got my first chapter of the book started on that trip. Yeah, I'm working through it. This is coming together. People are asking, "You're writing a book?" You know, I'm doing a bunch of stuff I'm not finishing. You know, I mean,
Yeah.
someday.
Who knows if it'll be published, but
Yeah.
you're going to start on it.
Yeah. But trusted values as I journey through the universe. That's, I mean, so I'm doing 15 chapters of these are things that I value. You don't have to value it. But if you want to look into my life and say, what made a difference in his life, these are the values. So, yeah.
That's good.
First chapter, mystery above all.
Love that. Love the mystery.
Oh, dude, I'm telling you, it's coming together. I'm stoked. And but again, you and I were talking before we pushed record, and isn't it amazing how in life we are constantly relearning the things we know? Oh my gosh!
It still amazes us.
And all I have to do, 15. If I sit down for 15 minutes to write, you know what? There's words on a piece of paper or on my iPad or whatever.
Right.
Yeah. So, what are you learning again that you already know?
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. So you're gonna get the non-rant version of a beautiful conversation. Stick with us through it, because once we get past our typical opening, we go on a conversation journey that when we got done, it was giving me goosebumps.
Yeah, and that's what I point back to with the orchestration, even though we talk about how there's not a lot that's planned, and we don't plan out, segments. We have an idea of things, and yet I feel like this one it's where we were supposed to land with it.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Yeah. All from coming to a place to know to do what you need to be doing. Yeah. living life.
Living life.
I like to live life.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I like living.
Right.
I'm not really on a path of trying to not live.
Mm. Nope.
I was thinking, though, that, this COVID 30 pounds overweight that I've become,
Yeah.
I need to change how I'm living.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's a process of learning too, right? You're like, well, that part was okay. It was still enjoyable,
Yeah.
but tinker over here, because here's what I also learned is that this doesn't always feel good on my body. So guess what? So we'll make a couple of changes and relearn what you already learned before.
Oh my gosh, isn't that true?
So if you already then are going to relearn that, you're going to say, I'll also reapply things that I maybe even at one time already had applied.
Yeah.
And then moved away from it.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
Yep. And trying to think about anything else, nothing earth-shattering. Hey, we give you a great conversation in regards to some music festivals out there.
Mm-hmm.
Talk about the color of vinyl.
Right.
We, and there's really not much down the road concerning movies or anything like that. But, it's just, if you're like, I wish you would just spit it out. And the problem is, other than what Phil's already said, we spit anything else out, it takes away from it all.
Right.
So we're inviting you to the mystery. Mm-hmm. Show up Sunday. Get ready to get surprised.
Right. Be a part of the conversation, as we always invite you to be a part of the conversation. Because we always say, if there's going to be things that you're going to disagree with, we're okay with it. But also be a part of the conversation.
We actually give you the opportunity to walk into testing your dualistic mind with an exercise that will allow you to work towards non-dualism in how you think about things.
Right.
That's an exercise.
It is. And it's going to be something that's going to take practice, and it's going to take perseverance.
Practice and perseverance.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. 2 P's.
In a pod.
Mm-hmm.
That's us.
Right. Here's our pod.
Oh, my word.
Welcome to the pod.
Cast.
Yeah.
Well, Phil, you know what? I've got family coming into town.
That's right.
And looking forward to my family being here in Chicago. And with that, it means that I need to keep moving.
Right.
And so got a couple things to wrap up at the studio and then head back home and prepare. It's an act of hospitality.
It is.
Yeah. And so.
And you want people to come in feeling comfortable.
Yeah.
Because you're trying to be able, I mean, if this is their vacation or a portion of it at least, then you want them to be able to feel like they're not having to, put on all the effort.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So looking forward to that. I was just thinking also to landmark this trailer.
Mm-hmm.
A man went into outer space.
Another one.
Yeah.
Jeff Bezos.
Yeah. Just amazing.
Right.
If we've already been there, how come it's so hard to get there again?
Yeah. Well, it just seems like there's more of the... I mean, when I was growing up, like, it was like if you wanted to be an astronaut, that was the only way you were going to get to space.
Right.
Is like you went through all of that background, you went through all the testing, all of this other stuff.
Yeah.
In order to be able to get to space. And now it's kind of like, you get like Richard Branson, Virgin Airlines. He's got enough money, put together the project, went into space. Now, he didn't go very far up. I mean, I think they technically categorize space as like 67 miles up.
Okay.
And I don't think he went up that high. But it was for the sake of being able to say, hey, now I want to sell this product to other people. So $250,000, and you can also go up into this echelon of space.
Yeah.
Jeff Bezos then recently
Mm-hmm.
also then went into space. And, so what it does say is like, now if you've got enough money, you too can, go into space without having to go through all the early training.
Yeah. Well, we'll have to dedicate one of our fringe episodes to the conspiracy theory of landing on the moon.
There we go. I like that conversation.
Do you?
I do.
Yeah.
I think it's a good. The conspiracy theory that surrounds it is interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Isn't that what really it's about?
Yeah.
It's not as much about the topic of which conspiracy it is. Mm. It's just like being able to take a look at the people and the theories of conspiracy. Mm-hmm. There was an episode of something I was watching, and somebody's like, "Yeah, thanks a lot, Conspiracy Santa Claus." That was that was on that Prime movie with the Parks and Rec dude. Yeah. And if I said that in a different episode,
Chris Pratt.
Yeah, Chris Pratt. Mm-hmm. Just deal with an old man. We actually addressed that too in the episode.
Right.
It's not gentrification. That's what happens to a city.
Geriatric.
Yeah, my geriatric state of being. For those of you who are listening on the podcast on audio, and if you've never seen a picture of Steve or Phil, we both have gray in our beards.
We've got some white. We've got some gray.
And yeah. And I think I'm a decade down the road from you, so.
Yeah, probably.
Ish.
Yeah.
Ish. Yeah.
Right. Age ain't nothing but a number.
That's true. Thank God in my heart I feel older than 13 and younger than ...
Right. That's true.
Yeah. So we're looking forward to the chat. Mm-hmm. We're looking forward to hearing from you. And if you still haven't figured it out, you can send us an email at cutdaisiesandunicorns@gmail.com.
Yeah. Or we have multiple channels for you also to be able to message us, whether it's Twitter, and that's Daisy's Cut.
Yeah.
Is the handle at Twitter. And then you can get us on Instagram, and we also have our Facebook page.
Yeah.
And I think that as we always put on the audio, that the website is still under construction, but I mean, I think it's still being processed. So.
Oh yeah, there's when your job is spinning plates. Mm-hmm. You actually talk about this in the episode of things getting dropped.
Yeah.
Yeah. We really could use a person that would be able to organize our talent search and, be able to schedule and figure all that stuff out. And the other thing, actually not to our developers, we're living full lives. There's a lot going on. Mm-hmm. So we simplified.
Right.
Yeah. Message us on Facebook. And we will continue to wait and want for the website to work out.
Uh-huh. Someday it will. That's why I still say under construction, because it is.
Oh, yeah.
It's in the process. Yeah. It's in the works, but it's...
Yeah, but, I mean...
It's no one's full-time job.
Nope. It's not.
Nope.
Well...
All right, everybody. So you know what to do. You know where to check us out. You know where to continue to engage in the conversation. And we just remind you of it so that you can go and be a part of this. And we want you to be a part of it. It's an invitation. It's always been a part of the invitation for you to be a part of this and to create a community that surrounds it.
And if you're listening to the trailer and you're like, what's the matter with these guys? They seem like down, or they seem like they don't have the energy, or what's going on. I'm telling you what, talking for almost 2 hours is a lot of work.
It is.
Especially when you're doing the hard work.
Mm-hmm.
You're not going, I'll say it again, you are not going to be disappointed with season 3, episode 2. Energy, animation,
Right.
the opportunities, and just know we don't shoot the trailer until after we do the episode, so we can know what we know.
So
what
we know what to deliver to you as a sneak peek.
Yeah. So,
because we've been through it.
yeah. Each of us. Well, all 4 of us, really. When you include Daisy and Raven. Yeah.
They too have journeyed with us.
I just love that they get in on this.
And Daisy's, head's a little bit, cocked, like almost like she's thinking something.
That's exactly what it is. Yeah. Lots to ponder.
Right.
I was thinking about it. This is Daisy's rainbow that she's farting.
Shooting rainbows. So you continue to ponder just as Daisy is pondering right now.
All right. You guys take care. Have a great beginning of your weekend, and we'll look forward to hearing your thoughts Sunday.
That's right.
Or shortly thereafter.
Peace, everybody.
Later.